This African versus African American beef is real.
If black Americans were Africans, then Africans would be as influential as us. Africans have not had any influence on the world compared to us. We have created most of the world's inventions from black-skinned people. They're a whole continent of 54 countries and they cannot compete with us invention-wise. It's sad. Really let that sink in. We are only 13% of the American population, but we have created so many inventions. We have had such a heavy impact on the world. They are 54 countries, over 1 billion people, and they cannot compete with us culture-wise or invention-wise, or influence-wise, or fashion-wise, or lingo-wise. These people have to come to what we've built in order to get a leg up.
Whoa. Slow down, young brother. Hold up. I mean, that is some real animosity right there. I'm just finding out that this is the actual thing. In the comments, do y'all know about this African versus African American beef that's going on? It seems like one party feels a little superior to the other one. It feels like a little black on black racism as well. But even though a lot of the things that this young brother said were true, as far as the inventions and the effect that African Americans have on the world, I just feel like there's a lot of anger behind it and a lot of I'm better than you ism behind it as well, which I don't really subscribe to.
Africans versus African Americans, another division tactic created by the colonizer to keep all of us divided. I feel like this topic forces people to look at narratives they've been repeating without questioning. Africans versus African Americans. And look, I'm saying this as a non-black person, so I'm not standing here pretending I own this conversation or I live this experience in my body. I'm just saying it as somebody who's been paying attention long enough to see patterns and honest enough to say when something smells manufactured. Because this divide did not fall out of the sky. It was built on purpose, and it's one of the most successful division tactics the colonizer ever pulled.
The realest shit ever spoke right there. I believe him. I agree with him. It does feel like a really manufactured kind of competition if you think about it, really, because I think naturally black people are black people, Africans are Africans. I mean, we're all of the same genotype. We're all of the same creed. We all come from the same place. So why this I'm better than you attitude is there, I don't know. And it's also good to point out that someone who is non-black is even seeing this division. So if they can see it, just imagine how bad it really is.
And a beef that never made any sense to me, black Americans versus Africans. What the fuck are we doing? Are we not both niggas? Y'all, the world hates us equally. No one's going to stop you and be like, oh, where are you from? And then treat you differently from a black person that comes from a different place. The world views us all the same. So what the fuck? Where is the disconnect coming from? Someone explain that. Like, and it's just a whole bunch of bullshit. A lot of bullshit started back when we were younger. Like, a lot of the experiences that African kids had growing up, the racist experiences that they had growing up, mostly came from black Americans. Calling African kids African booty scratchers. I don't know if that was in retaliation. You feel me? Because me personally, I never in my life have I ever had to deal with racism from any group. But from stories that I've heard online and from things that I've seen from people around me, that's just what it is. And I've just never understood that, like, we're supposed to be gang. We're supposed to be close, but we just not.
And again, another, opinion that I have to totally agree with in the aspect of if someone's racist or someone has, any kind of racist inclination in them, they're not going to care whether you're from America or whether you're from Africa. Black is black. So she's right. We are all hated the same by those that hate us, no matter where you come from. And then, as I spoke of earlier, there's a lot of racism within the black community. I do remember saying the little African booty scratcher joke, but I don't believe I grew up around many Africans. It was just a joke that made its way into the black community that we used against each other playfully, Never really thought nothing about it until now. Crazy how you look in hindsight when you get older, right?
Yo, I got a question for black people, right? So if you're not black, you could just keep scrolling. Or if you want to just be nosy, you could just sit here. But what do y'all call yourself? Do you call yourself black, African American, what? Because I was just watching this video, right? It was this white dude talking about black people and black culture and all the rest of that stuff, right? And in the comments, the girl was like, thank you so much for not calling us African Americans. And I was like, And she had a lot of likes to that, and I didn't understand that at all. I mean, I am very much black, and I'm very much African American, so I didn't understand what the problem was. So somebody help me, inform me. And look, for the record, I know my nationality is American. I know my ethnicity is African American. And I know my color is black. So I have those three things. I just want to know what y'all call yourself.
For the record, I refer to myself as African American, but this whole racial construct didn't even start until we were brought here and the Europeans had to separate us some way. I think that was Kendrick Lamar that said, "Don't call me black no more." That's not fact. So yeah, I don't go by black anymore because I'm not black. I'm African American. My descendants, my ancestry is from Africa. Down in the comments, what do y'all consider yourselves? Do you consider yourself black? Do you consider yourself African American? I've even heard the Nubian, word thrown around. Go ahead and let me know in the comments, y'all.
I'm African American. He is straight African. How do you see African Americans?
I see y'all as slaves.
And what makes us slaves?
Because you built a nation that controls you.
How does it control us? We got NBA, NFL, we running it.
They use you as dancers and entertainers.
But they paying us $100 million plus.
Yeah, but then they own the money.
He got kind of stuck right there, didn't he? And the African brother was telling the truth. But like it or not, we are kind of slaves to this country, even though we built it. We built the country that runs us in a way of speaking. He said, yeah, what about the NBA and NFL? And I never looked at it like the Africans said. He said they use you for entertainment. So not only did they build the world, they also built the arena, the Coliseum, so to speak, to have us. But I don't think that's 100% necessarily true because you have white sports like hockey and like soccer, primarily golf and shit. So a sport is a sport. So I don't agree with that. But the other premises, I definitely can see where he's coming from. When he said they own the money, brother didn't have nothing else to say about that.
But I'm gonna put it on record to say that we are not African. I'm gonna say that.
That's another story. We're gonna get into that too.
It's a big difference between so-called African Americans and Africa that's in Africa. And then it's not even called Africa. They don't even call it Africa. But our genetics is different. When you look at I don't want to say the creation of the Caucasian race, but when you look at when they came on the scene, some say 6,000 years. All of my research shows 10,000 years ago. When you look at melanated beings, we have been around on Earth since the beginning of time. So everybody was of a melanin descendant back then. Everybody was black. So how did you tell if they was different? They had different cultures, they had different body size, different geographical locations. Like when you look at Africans, their skeleton structures are more different than ours. A lot of them are more skinnier than us. When you look at their nasal passage, their noses are shaped different. They are different. I'm not saying that we all are not connected ancestrally, but we are different though. We're very, very different. Even our hair, genetics, an African man, look at his hair. Yeah, a lot of them genetically don't grow beard. Some of them do, but a lot of them genetically don't grow beard. So it's a difference between us. And I don't know why it's such a big thing. They be like, Dr. Yaki, you trying to cause more division. No, I'm not trying to cause more division, but it's a reason why certain so-called African tribes that's been in America for 1,000 years can't be like the Mezi tribe and eat cow and drink cow blood and drink cow's milk. It's a reason, and that's because we lack the enzymes to actually break down. It's called lactase. So,
man, that was a quick little history lesson and so many truths. And one thing I didn't even think about that he said was, now that I look back, most Africans, men, do not have beards naturally. I mean, they're not over there shaving, so they're not growing beards. And that's a huge genetic difference from Africans to African Americans. Most African American men have some sort of beard type or are capable of growing a beard. They just probably choose to shave it. But just getting into the features of the nasal passages, the differences between African Americans and Africans in the foreheads and the height differences as well. I could see how you could look at this as two different types of the same ethnicity. But again, in Africa, there's so many countries and so many derivatives and different dialects and skin tones, and that's why it's called the motherland, right? all in all, I do understand that there is a rift between Africans and African Americans, and I honestly just think it's a big misunderstanding, and we got caught up in the cycle of racism, and that obviously this country has taught us to do oh so well. Yes, there are biological differences within us, but at the end of the day, we all come from the same place. It's like having a mother and having brothers, but it's like having a mother and then you have 7 brothers, but they all have different dads. You're all still related blood-wise. You all come from the same mother. You're just different because of who your fathers were throughout the line. And again, I'm always going to preach love. I'm always going to teach love one another, even when it's hard, even when there are differences. I mean, that's what really going to make the world go around, and that's what's going to make us better people for each other. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers. You guys are helping me out very much, and I totally appreciate you. Please continue with the comments. Please continue with the likes and the shares, and please subscribe.